Welcome to my algebra class. We're on chapter 7, section 3. We're going to be working with equations that have fractional coefficients. What we're going to do is find the least common denominator of all the fractions, and we're going to multiply both sides by the least common denominator, therefore eliminating all the fractions, and then we have an easier equation to solve. So if I look at number 1, least common denominator for 7, 3 is 21. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 21. 7 goes into 21 threes, so that gives me 3x. 3 goes into 21. That gives me 7x. And 10 times 21 is 210. Now I can collect my like terms, get 10x equals 21. 210, divide by 10, and I get x equals 21, which is a lot easier than renaming all of them with the same denominator. The second one, please remember to change subtraction to addition and change the signs immediately. The least common denominator for 5, 2, and 20 is 20. 5 goes into 24. 4 times 3a is 12a. 2 goes into 20, 10. 10 times the negative a is negative 10a. And 20 goes into 20 once, and 1 times 1 is 1. Collecting like terms, I get 2a equals 1, divide by 2, and a equals 1/2. The third example, change subtraction to addition, change the signs of all the terms that come after it. Least common denominator is 15. 3 goes into 15, 5, so 5 times x is 5x. 5 goes into 15, 3. 3 times the negative x is negative 3x, and 3 times the negative 2 is negative 6. And 2 times 15 is 30. Collecting like terms, I have 2x minus 6 equals 30. Solving for x, add 6. And I get 2x equals 36. Divide by 2, and x equals 18. The last example, put the 2n over 1 and the 5 over 1. Least common denominator for 3 and 4 is 12. 1 goes into 12 times, so that's 12 times 2n is 24n. 3 goes into 12, 4. 4 times 4n is 4n, equals 4 goes into 12, 3. 3 times n is 3n. And 1 goes into 12, and 12 times 5 is 60. So collecting like terms first, simplifying each side. Then getting the n's on one side, subtract the 3n. So I have 25n equals 60. Divide by 25. And 5 goes into 60, 12, and into 25, 5. So my solution is 12/5. That concludes the explanation. We're ready to start the assignment. So your books are open to 299. We're going to do 1 through 18 first, and then go back to 296 and do the word problems there. So problem number 2 on page 299. You're to go to the oral exercise and copy that problem down as 3y over 8 plus y over 4 equals 10. Put the 10 over 1. The least common denominator for 8 and 4 would be 8. 8 goes into 8 once, so 1 times 3y is 3y. 4 goes into 8 twice, so 2 times a positive y is 2y. And 1 goes into 8, 8, and 8 times 10 is 80. Collecting like terms, I get 5y equals 80. Divide by 5. And y equals 16. Problem number 4, again from the oral exercises. 2a over 3 minus 3a over 2 equals negative 5/6. I'm changing subtraction to the addition and changing the signs. The least common denominator is 6. 3 goes into 6, 2. 2 times 2a is 4a. 2 goes into 6, 3. 3 times the negative 3a is negative 9a. And 6 goes into 6 once, and 1 times the negative 5 is negative 5. 4a minus 9a is negative 5a. Solving for a, divide both sides by negative 5, and a equals 1. Number 6, 3c over 10 plus c over 5 equals 3/2. Least common denominator for 10, 5, and 2 would be 10. 10 goes into 10 once, so that's 3c. 5 goes into 10 twice, so that'd be plus 2c. 2 goes into 10 5, and 5 times 3 is 15. Collecting like terms, we get 5c equals 15. Divide by 5, and c equals 3. Problem number 8, we have 7m over 3 minus 3m over 5 equals 11 over 2. We're going to eliminate all the denominators. The least common denominator for 3, 5, and 2 would be 30. 3 goes into 30, 10. 10 times 7 is 70m. 5 goes into 36. 6 times a negative 3 would be negative 18m. And 2 goes into 30, 15, and 15 times 11 is 165. 70m minus 18m is 52m equals 165. Divide both sides by 52. And we get m equals, I think there's a mistake somewhere. I copied it wrong. It should have been an 8. So the least common denominator would be 40. So 8 goes into 40 5 times. 5 times 7m is 35m. 5 goes into 48, and 8 times the negative 3m is negative 24m. And 2 goes into 40, 20, and 20 times 11 is 220. Subtract, I get 11m equals 220. Divide by 11, and m is 20. Problem number 10, x over 6 minus x plus 3 over 5 equals 1. Change subtraction to addition and be sure and change all the signs. Least common denominator is 30. Six goes into 35, so that gives us 5x. 5 goes into 36. 6 times negative x is negative 6x. 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. And 1 times 30 is 30. 5x minus 6x is negative x minus 18 equals 30. Add 18 to both sides. And we get negative x equals 48. Therefore, x multiplying both sides by negative 1 is a negative 48. Problem number 12. We have x plus 2 over 15 minus x minus 3 over 5 equals 2/3. Change subtraction to addition, change the signs. Least common denominator is 15. 15 goes into 15 once, so that just comes out x plus 2. 5 goes into 15 3. 3 times the negative x is negative 3x, and 3 times 3 is 9. 3 goes into 15 5. 5 times 2 is 10. Collecting like terms, I get negative 2x plus 11 equals 10. Solving for x, subtract 11. So I have negative 2x equals negative 1. Divide by negative 2. X equals 1/2. Problem 14, x minus 3x over 2 equals 3x over 4 minus 5, 6. Least common denominator for 2, 4, and 6 would be 12. 1 goes into 12 12 times, so that would be 12x. 2 goes into 12 6. 6 times negative 3 is negative 18x. 4 goes into 12 3. 3 times 3x is 9x. 6 goes into 12 2. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. Collecting like terms first, I get negative 6x equals 9x minus 10. Since the x is by itself on the left, I'm going to subtract 9x from both sides. I get negative 15x equals negative 10. Divide both sides by negative 15 to solve for x. So it's going to be a positive. 5 goes in there 2/3. Problem 16, 0 equals 2x plus 2x minus 8 over 7. Least common denominator is 7. 1 goes into 7. 7 times 0 is 0. 1 goes into 7. 7 times 2x is 14x. 7 goes into 7 once, so that'd be plus 2x minus 8. Collecting like terms, I get 16x minus 8. Solving for x, I add 8 to both sides. I get 8 equals 16x. Divide by 16. And 1/2 equals x. And 18, you have x plus 4 over 3 minus x over 7 equals x plus 7 over 5. Least common denominator is 105, because they have nothing in common, so just multiply them out. So 3 goes into 105 35 times. 35 times x is 35x. 4 times 35 is 140. 7 goes into 105 15 times, so that'd be negative 15x. And 5 goes into 105 21. So 21 times x is 21x, and 7 times 21 is 147. Collecting like terms, I get 20x plus 140 equals 21x plus 147. Subtract 20x first to get the x's on one side. So I have 140 equals x plus 147. Subtract 147 from both sides. And negative 7 equals x. Now turn back to 296, and we're doing the word problems there. Problem number 2. We're going to set up a proportion to solve these. It says 3 cans of cat food cost 87 cents. So if I put 3 cans over money, 87 cents. Set up the second fraction the same way. They want to know how many 8 cans cost, so 8 will have to go on top. And we're trying to find the cost, so X is on the bottom. Cross products, 3X equals 8 times 87 cents. And that gives us $6.96. Divide both sides by 3. So the cost of 8 cans would be $2.3 to $2.32. Problem number 4. A truck uses 8 liters of gasoline to go 120 kilometers. So we'll put the 8 liters over the 120 kilometers, the distance. How much gasoline, so we're missing the gasoline, the X will be on top, will it use to go 300 kilometers? Cross products, 8 times 300 is 2400, equals 120x. Divide by 120, and 12 goes into 240 20 times, and 12 goes into 12 once, so we'll need 20 liters. Problem number 6. A recipe calls for 2.5 dozen whole wheat muffins. Since 1/2 is easily converted to decimal, use 2.5 dozen over 600 grams of flour. So the question is, how many muffins can be made with 900 grams? So we do cross products, and we get 900 times 2.5. And that's 2,250 equals 600x. Divide by 600. And we get 3.75 equals x. So our answer is 3 3/4 dozens. Or if you want to convert those to muffins, if you change the 2.5 dozen into 24 plus 6 or 30 muffins, that'll come out. That's 36 plus 9 be 45 muffins. Either way is okay. And problem number 8. An ad claims that in a recent poll, 3 out of 4 dentists recommended brushing with a certain brand of toothpaste. If there were 94 dentists polled, how many favored this brand? So there were a total of 92 dentists polled. And we want to know how many favored it. And there were 3 out of 4. So cross products, 4x equals 276. Divide by 4, and x equals 69 dentists. That concludes the evens. Be sure you check the back of the book for the answers to the odds and work towards